listeners from St.Lucia and online. Welcome to Youth on the Rise. I am your host, Christy Joseph, and with me, my co-host, Miss Tanya Elias. And this evening, we have in studio a very special guest by the name of Christy Joseph. Our listeners, Christy is actually the only Challenged to pick up an award at the recently concluded Youth Awards. And what is even more commendable is that she's differently abled. That is, she's blind. Okay?
Good evening, listeners. I am Tanya Elias, the co-host of this show. Welcome to a very exciting show. We have a very special young lady here with us this evening, Christy Joseph. Welcome to the show, Christy. How are you doing?
Fine.
Okay. Now, Christy, tell St.Lucia about you. Who is Christy Joseph? Tell us.
My name is Christy Joseph and I attend the Reunion Primary School. I am in grade 4. I am 10 years old. I live at 700 Joseph.
Okay. Very well. Again, listeners, you heard it. A very, very young lady who still attends primary school. And she has already been awarded at Youth Awards. And we're going to speak about her achievements in a little bit. But people, this is quite commendable. And I must say, she's very talented, a very special young lady. And I, just like you, am eager to hear more about her and her achievements and what she has to say. Okay, now let's get into it. Christy, before we begin, I know that you've told the listeners about who you are, where you're from. Tell us about your award, the award that you got for Youth Awards. Again, I know you got the Esteemed Challenge Award, and I would like to congratulate you on being the only Swazian to receive an award.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tell us, how did it feel to be awarded?
I feel excited. I feel great.
Go on.
When you heard the news that you'd be receiving a prize, what was the reaction like? Did you jump all over the house? Okay, she's still trying to remember the whole situation, what happened. Okay, listeners, I am very happy to report we know that behind every great child, we have a parent. And I am happy to report that Chris's mother is seated right next to her, glowing, a very, very proud mother. And again, I know that we have a teacher as well who seems to be, she's very excited. She's pushing that little girl because she sees the potential. We have mysteries artist here with us as well. You will be hearing from them. So let us target one of our questions at Chris's mother. When did you find out that she was blind? Mike.
Well, she was a year and 3 months when I found out that Christy is blind in one eye. And then we took her to Cuba. And that's when they told her that she has cancer.
Oh.
Retinoblastoma.
Ouch.
Yeah, so they had to do a surgery and they took her both eyes.
Oh, and
So right now she has artificial.
Oh, so can she see anything?
Nothing at all.
Okay. So what is the journey like for you with her?
Although no idea. I don't know.
Okay, take it one day at a time. You're an amazing child. Okay, I can see Chrissy laughing. And so, Chrissy, let us go back to your school life. What is school life like for you, my girl? Tell us about school.
School is great. I have many friends.
Very good. Okay, do you like sports?
Yes, I have taken part in sports like the marathon in my school.
Wow.
And
What other sporting activities? Anything else? Cricket?
Yeah.
Okay.
football,
Oh, wow. Impressive.
fun sports,
Nice. Soccer race and...
cheerleading,
wow, amazing. So what's your favorite sporting activity?
football.
Oh, you love football. Wow. Maybe you might hear about Chrissy. Very good. What about organizations? I know Mrs. Attil is actively involved in guiding. Are you a guide?
Yes, I am a guide.
Okay. Are you a leader by any chance? I know that you look like you're a leader sitting there. Are you a leader? Okay, you just like being part of the group, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's nice, my girl.
Now, Christy, tell us about the challenges that you faced. I'm sure that being differently able, being blind, there are quite a few challenges that you will encounter. And tell the nation, what is it like for you? Again, we know that you're someone who's very determined, and despite being differently able, you don't let that hamper you, don't let that stop you, which is very commendable, especially with the achievements that you've had so far. But what has it been like for you? What has the journey been like for you so far?
It has been good that I am taking part in different activities in my school and the Before Education Center School.
Okay, all right. Now let me pass this question.
And I took part in the Before Education Center's pageant.
Interesting. Tell me about that. Tell me about this pageant that you took part in.
Well, I won the pageant.
What is your talent?
Like a champion. Cheerleading. I was
Oh,
just
wow.
like a cheerleader.
Oh wow. And I will pass this question on to the parent and then the teacher. So, Chrissy's mom, what has it been like for you? What challenges have you been facing? And I know that it may not be easy, but you always do it. Tell us about that.
Well, before at first, I used to take it so hard at first, but now, I don't know, she's just...
Yeah.
But now I don't take it, like, I don't take challenges from me. She's somebody, she's dependable. The thing about her, she's not good doing things for her. She's not very yeah, she's very independent.
All right. Okay. Now, Miss Attil, your turn.
Yeah.
Tell us about, as a teacher. Again, for those who don't know, Mrs. Attil is the physical education teacher at Reunion at her school. So, tell us about the challenges that you face in working with Christy, and how you have worked to overcome them.
Okay, well, at Reunion, I teach physical education, and that is where I interact with Christy the most. And I must say it has been quite challenging for me as a teacher not having the knowledge of how to go about teaching a young child who is totally, visually challenged, or should I say totally blind, how to participate in certain activities. But the thing about it is that Christy depends a lot on her other senses, so it has become a little easy for me. Although I don't have quite much of a knowledge, but then I work with Christy very well. I cooperate with her and she does the same with me. So I know how to go about dealing with her for some of the activities that I teach her. Also, I've gone to some workshops where during physical education we include the different disabilities. So I think through that I am able to work along with Christy. But it's really a wonderful challenge, I must say. Working with her, I get to learn too. It's also a learning experience for me, teaching someone who's totally blind, because she's amazing. She acts just like the normal children.
Okay, she means different able because you play. What kind of accommodation do you for her at this?
Well, for now we have Braille. She has a Braille typewriter where she does her work with. We use a lot of tactile material, so she's able to do a lot of touching and feeling. Also, we teach with different things that can make sounds. For example, I have this particular ball, kind of a ball, where you make a sound, so she's able to know and follow the sound of it. Also, she works with a special ed teacher at the school, that's Mrs. Bissett, and with another one, somebody who's qualified, I think, in the area, that is Mrs. Dasheville. So they have worked with her and they know what it is like.
I know you were quite influential in helping Christy capture the title at the special ed pageant that was hosted recently. Can you tell us something about that, the preparation and everything?
Well, I was approached by Miss Jenny, Miss Gillard. She's the president of the Choiseul Defense Sports Council. And I think she hearing that we have a child who's visually impaired, she asked me whether I want to nominate this child. And I was like, yay, let's do it. So I contacted Christy's teacher and she said, why not? And when I looked at the criteria, I felt Christy had everything that they were asking for. It was an award where you nominate someone who, in spite of their disability, is able to participate in all activities, is a member of a club, and that person does not allow that disability to affect her. So for that, I quickly fill in the application form, and we sent it up, and there it was. She won.
I know Christy is very excited. How did you feel on the day when you realized that not only had Christy captured the award of Miss Special Ed, but she had also captured at the national level? How did you really feel?
Oh, we were ecstatic.
Celebration, I guess.
Yes, when her name was called up, we jumped. And she hugged me, and she went up for her award. She was presented by the acting Prime Minister, Honorable Philip JPA, presented her with the award. And it was a really exciting moment for her. And I was proud of her.
All right. Wow. I must admit, especially being visually impaired, receiving the award and competing against people who are not is actually quite commendable. And I could imagine the euphoria. All right. Now, Christy, I know that you've come so far and you've had a lot of influences that have come your way. Can you please tell the nation, the listeners, about who your main influences? Who do you think they are? Or who are the people? I mean, you've been helped by a lot of people, I'm sure. But who are those big players that you thank first? Who?
The very important person in your life, my girl.
friends.
Mhm.
My teacher.
Mhm.
My friends who helped me at the school.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, listeners, remember phone lines are now open. Again, the number to call us is 714 5 574. Again, I repeat, number to call us 714 557. Four.
Okay, I mean, I really got to know about Chrissy during Youth Award, her capabilities and everything else. But before that, I think I heard Miss Vernshall. She mentioned the fact that she had met a child who was so amazing, and she went telling persons that this child who is visually impaired could do so many things. Why can't we who are not, we have the life and we have everything,
Yeah.
why can't we go out there and be amazing ourselves? So Chrissy, can you take, I mean, persons must be curious, that motivation that you have, can you tell us what happens on a daily basis for you? How do you start your day? What's the first thing you do in the morning?
Is ready for school.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for my bus by the road.
Wow, with your help of your mother?
No.
Wow, by
Interesting.
yourself.
When my bus comes to bring me to my school,
Mm-hmm.
and I go to my school on my own.
Oh, wow. And she's saying that with such confidence, that independence.
And I can climb the stairs on my own.
Okay. Wow.
Do you have a kid?
Yes, but there's music.
Oh, wow. you believe that you can do it. That's it.
Wow.
And then on a normal basis, where do you like sitting in class?
Beg
The
your
front?
pardon?
Where do you like sitting in class? To the front or to the back?
Both places.
Oh, you don't mind. You try things. You love trying things. Okay, what happens after school during break time? What happens during break time? Are you want to stay in the class?
No, I just play with my friends on the field.
Oh, wow. And then lunchtime?
Sometimes I play with my friends, sometimes I get a book to read.
Very good. Reading, man. You take the time out to read. And what happens after school?
I wait for my bus. Sometimes I have lessons for minimum standard test on Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Christy, what I most admire about you actually is the fact that despite being blind, you've taken part in so many things. And it takes someone who's daring, someone who's bold, someone who doesn't let any disability or impediment to hamper them to really attempt so many things. I find that really commendable. But what drives you? What really makes you want to put yourself out there and not care basically as to what limitations are on you? What really makes you want to do all those things?
Want to go out and learn how it is to stay without my parents
Oh wow.
and being with other people.
Oh wow. Surprised by the response.
Yeah, like that.
And listeners, can Christy or my teacher tell the listeners some of the competitions that she took part in that led up to her being nominated first of all and her actually capturing the Esteemed Challenge Award for Youth Awards?
Some of the competitions I
Mhm.
have taken part in is the pageant.
Mhm.
I have been to Alabama for Space Camp,
Mhm.
the marathon, being as a girl guide,
Wow.
the sporting activities,
Oh wow. Mhm.
the Lamagerit Festival in Viewfort, from the church to the square.
Wow. She's very mobile, people. She's very mobile. I am certain those who are not visually impaired might be envious. She's very mobile.
Okay, Chrissy, you mentioned Alabama. What is the space camp about? What is that about? The Alabama trip.
It was about camping,
Mm-hmm.
having like to
So what are some of the things you did during camp?
climbing rockets,
Wow. Okay,
Wow.
what else did you do?
we build rocks and we build rockets, and I got a chance to launch it.
Okay, have you ever met other little girls who are visually impaired, or little boys, little girls who are visually impaired?
Yes,
What was it like for you, knowing that you were with students who were visually impaired?
it was wonderful to see that I have other children to play with who can see or who cannot see.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, I understand. Mhm.
Very, very, very interesting. And I'm thinking, again, especially interacting with people who are just like you, and you would feel more at ease. Again, I know that you're bold, I know that you're outgoing, you're outspoken, but again, you'd feel a lot more at ease. Again, certain things probably or certain things you might say or do, you'd be able to do it better with them. Now, I have another question to ask you. So far, you've told me about your achievements, setbacks that has come along the way, your influences. Now, what is next for Christy? What do you aspire to do? What do you aspire to become? What do you plan to do in the future? First of all, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I plan to be a bank teller.
Wow. Bank teller. Okay. And anything really coming up this year? Any competition that you about to take part in? Can the teacher help us out there?
I'm not quite sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Competitions in terms of, you mean at school?
Yeah.
No, not anything
All right.
that she would be participating in.
Okay, my question is directed at the teacher. I know that when we came in, we said that Chrissy was differently able, and I know some persons, this is really not a term that persons are familiar with. Can you really explain the concept of being differently able to the listening population?
Well, I could say that being differently able has to do with not, having a disability. Take for example, you have a hearing impaired or maybe visually impaired, or probably losing a body part. Okay, but we don't really use the terms blind or deaf. We say visually challenged.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking is that sometimes, but I don't know whether it still happens, when we realize that children are visually impaired or they're deaf, we tend to like provide a constant support. And I think I like what you're doing, the fact that you're allowing her to be on her own, to be independent. Because as a parent, you're not always there. I know you want Chrissy to grow up and have a husband, have her children, and do things like that. So, I mean, being differently able doesn't mean that the child cannot do anything for us. Because when they're visually impaired, we want to like, okay, I have to do this one, I have to do that one, and everything
Not Christy.
else. So, yes.
Christy is totally different. Christy is very independent. At the school, we don't, the teachers are not like, should I say, like guardians, where we always watch her, keep an eye. I mean, yes, we do have to look after everybody.
Security.
But Christy is more on her own. She knows the surroundings very well. She would climb the steps. She would run up the steps sometimes, you know. She has helpers around. She has her friends. She'll be playing with them. And they know when to probably take her places. Sometimes she goes to the washroom on her own. In fact, most times she goes on her own.
Okay.
She just knows the surroundings.
I know as teachers, when we see children doing amazing things, it gives us the chance to reflect. As a teacher, seeing Chrissy, this child is visually impaired, she's moving mountains. When you look at yourself, does that really do anything for you as an individual?
Oh yes. I guess it makes you feel special that, you know, you are able, I mean, you have all your senses, and you are being a little more, how should I say that? I wouldn't use the word pity, but then, you know, you're a bit sympathetic towards other children who are that way, and then it makes you appreciate your own self.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing that actually there are some students at the school who says, "Oh, I wish I was Christy." And I have to tell them, no, don't say that you wish you were blind, because you were born with your two eyes. You cannot say that you wish you were her. I don't know if they probably feel that she's getting all the attention.
Oh,
Probably
because
she's
she's
that
doing so many
talented.
amazing
Probably,
things.
Yeah.
right? Because there are students, I'm sure, who are visually challenged and they are not like Christy.
Mm-hmm.
Level of independence.
Again, I believe it has to do with the support that she receives as
Oh,
well.
yes.
Um, especially being encouraged to be outgoing, outspoken, not being shunned upon. Normally, when the students are impaired in whatever way, not just visual, they tend to close up and not. They tend to be shy and not express themselves, and not really stamp their foot on the world, more or less. And I am glad that she is bold. She's moving towards whatever she wants. She's trying a lot of things. That is really commendable. And what that says to me especially is that a lot of us, we're not impaired in more or less any way, and we just sit back and we don't really try, we don't really look out for things that are new, try things that are new. And I believe she's commendable despite being visually impaired. It has nothing to do with her being visually impaired. I think her efforts are actually quite commendable, right? And that is one thing that I really like, and actually I really respect her for. But again, back on people and trying new things. Again, her boldness, that is one that stands out. The fact that she doesn't let whatever disability she has restrict her, restrict what she can do, restrict what she wants to do. And that is very, very commendable.
Let's get back to Chrissy again. We know that this is an amazing child and we're trying to understand what makes her so amazing. Chrissy, tell us, what are your hobbies, my girl? What do you like to do?
Reading.
Wow. Chrissy, what's your favorite? Who is your favorite character? Too many. I don't know whether you used to read fairy tales. We have Cinderella, Rapunzel. What do you say is the favorite for you?
I like Peppa Pig.
Oh wow, you like Peppa Pig. I love Peppa Pig too. I do love
It's actually quite popular though.
I love Peppa Pig.
Most of the kids like it. See, most of the kids like it. It's actually very
I
popular.
love Peppa Pig. Okay, so it means that television, you actively you watch television, you listen to television, and okay. Now when I see you, I'm saying, hey, but does Chrissy go to the beach and places like that? Do you enjoy these, the natural? Do you like the beach?
Yes, I love the beach.
Oh wow! And what's a day like for you by the beach?
Diving.
You love diving?
Yes.
Whoa, okay. So you love swimming and you just love walking on the beach, right?
Yes.
Okay, playing in the sand.
Wow.
And burying myself.
Ah. Okay, so like everybody else, you enjoy it. That is nice. Yes.
Very, very interesting, I must say. Very interesting.
Like sometimes you wonder whether they would want to do certain things, and hearing it from her, it really gives insights.
Yeah.
Um,
And again, it transfers to people once more, and not letting their limitations prevent them from aspiring to achieve their dreams. And we often really shy away from aiming to achieve our biggest goals. Yes, a lot of us have goals, but is that what we really want? Or rather, is that what we really believe that we can get? A lot of us, we set goals, but many times it's actually too small. And what we really want, the reason that we don't aspire to get it in the first place, is that we do not admit that we actually can achieve it, and we don't believe in ourselves. And again, said that before. That is one thing I really admire about her. She hasn't let her disability really prevent her or stop her in any way. And it's almost like she's not blind. She moves around, she goes out, she participates in competitions. Very, very commendable. And the young people listening right now, you should learn from this. You should learn from someone who really tries and really is almost fearless in most senses. And you should develop that way of thinking in your character to whatever challenge that you face, to whatever problem that you have, and not just for young people, for the older ones as well. Again, we often complain that we face issues and we always have the worst end of the stick, and we were always the one who thinks that we are in the worst situation. But trust me, most of the time, someone has it harder than us. Again, let us look at Christy, for example, being blind and participating in so many things. Yes, she does it. That doesn't mean that it's easy. She may have had a lot of challenges that she's gone through, a lot of obstacles that she has to overcome, and not just her, the people around her as well, right? They may have a lot of things that they've had to amend and really push through to help her with. And that really, really speaks a volume to her persistence, her dedication, her determination at such a young age.
Okay, this question is directed at the teacher, of course. Miss, I know that we in the technological age. Do you ever expose Chrissy to technology, for example, the phone, the laptops, and everything else? Can you give us some information on that?
Well, yes. Actually, I think Christy owns a phone.
Wow.
At school, Christy does IT, just like the other students.
Oh wow.
I do not know what her experience is like with her teacher, the IT teacher, but as far as I know, she participates in the IT class and she works on the computer and does whatever else that she has to do. So maybe she could tell you, what exactly she does for the IT. In terms of the other technological stuff like I do not know whether she has a home phone, and I think maybe the parents would be able to say that.
Yeah.
But I know what attains at the school. She does IT, and I know she has her own cell phone, which she uses.
Okay, Christy, can you tell us a bit about IT at your school, computer, how you use the computer at the school, whether you enjoy it and things like that?
Well, for me, for IT at my school, I have some friends. Sometimes they help me. Some of the names are Benella, Jean-Philippe, Fiora, Delany, and Jean.
Okay.
Wow.
And the keys, do you use sound when you're on the computer? The keys, how do you manipulate the keys? Touching and filling. Well, I guess touching and filling the keys should be no problem for you. So getting that information, how do you get the information out of the computer? Do you listen to the...
You put a voice over on for me, and I know what to do.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Atton, now that she has mentioned that there's a voice over, I didn't know that's actually existed for them.
Yes,
now
it
that
is.
you know
There is.
there's a voice over, do you believe... Oh, the mother is just giving us an example, a sample of what a voice over is. I think this is really being used at home as well, Miss. You use the voice over at home. Can you... Okay, she just gave us an example as to what the voice over is. Miss, do you use the voice over at home? Can you tell us what it entails?
Well, yes, I usually use it at home, but not all the time. Because it's a bit keeping me behind when I'm using it.
Oh, so it's a computer she's supposed to use.
Well, it's not really a computer, it's on a cell phone.
And what is it supposed to do?
Well, to like tell her where she's heading to, like what she's doing.
Oh, Wow, that is interesting. I know that is better.
Yeah.
Okay, my question now is directed at the teacher. Miss, do you think that enough is being done to help young persons like Christy in our nation, St. Lucia? Do you think enough is being done? I know that a lot of the government is trying. I know SLTU as well is trying. So, what's your input on that?
I cannot really say much actually, but in terms of at the school level, I don't think enough is being done.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, for somebody like Christy, I find if she was maybe at a place where, a special place, I think she would have achieved a lot more that we are providing. I don't know for other students around the island, but I just find that to me, Reunion Primary is not really giving her what she needs to develop her potential fully. So I don't think enough is being done for students like this.
Yes, and again, that's a call for not just the school, but all of the other schools around the island and around the world that are listening. Again, sometimes we do not cater for our differently abled students, and the fact that they're differently abled, we ignore the contributions that they actually can make, and we do not cater to their development. Again, the only time where people highlight it is when, say, most of them are looking for work and we shun upon them. However, they're just as capable and sometimes even more capable in developing into individuals who can contribute to society, to individuals who can not just the workforce but creatively many other ways in which people who are differently able, again in her case visually impaired, can contribute. And again, as talented as she is, it does speak volume as to already that young how much she's contributing, and in a couple of years time, if she continues, how important she will be, how much she will be valued, and how far she can go career wise. And there are people who are visually impaired, for example, and differently abled who have very good careers. Again, it's just a matter of they've been catered to, especially in schooling and especially in the field that they enter, the necessary modifications being made. Yeah, and they're just as capable as others. And again, as a society, we don't respect them enough, I believe. We don't appreciate them enough. And that is why a lot of them, they closed up, because they feel that inequity in comparison to others, and that should be avoided. Again, even if not all of us are born equal, even if most of us are, but that doesn't mean those who aren't, to some extent, are not equal to us. Make sense? And we should really pay more attention to that.
And if I may say something to Craig, I think Christy is the only child who's visually impaired and is at a normal school. Other students would find them in the special schools around the island, but I think she's the only one who actually functions at a normal school. And when Christy first came to Reunion, we were not open to what we were going to end up with. We were not sure what to do, how to work with her. But as time went by, we all embraced her, and we have gone along with her. I must say.
How is she doing? How is she doing academically, though?
I can't say much because I teach her physical education, but in the other subjects I'm not too sure. But I guess she's probably average. And
Yeah.
I think I have not heard that she's doing very poorly, but like I said, she uses the braille and she uses tactile. There are instances where the teacher has to read to her and she has to think of the answers. And she will be looking forward to writing MST.
Which is on
that should be
Coming Wednesday?
yes,
Wednesday coming,
on
yes.
Wednesday.
Yes, Mr. Sasso, you've mentioned Braille twice, and I know there are some of our listeners who might be asking, what really is Braille? How does Braille work? Alright, what is it? I've heard about it, but I'm always been curious. I need to see
I think
it.
Christy should say how because she
Tell us about
uses
the
it.
braille.
All I know is a little typewriter like. Yes, it's made out of metal. No, it's a typewriter. And I think it comes with the pages. The page is already in braille.
Yeah.
So she puts it in. It's amazing to see how she fits it into the typewriter and she types.
Oh,
Christy,
that's
maybe
like
you
from
want
Christy.
to
Christy, tell us about the braille, my dear. How you use the braille? Yeah, the typewriter thingy. I really want to know about it. It fascinates me. I don't know. I've always.
It's something like a pencil, almost like a pencil on a paper, but and I use it to do my schoolwork or homework. It's like it's to create little dots.
And what do you do with the dots?
I feel, as I cannot see it, I feel it.
So, do you form letters with the dots?
Yes,
Oh, and how do you end up getting the words? You have to join the letters.
join the letters to form the word.
And to me, if you have a sentence reading a Rapunzel story, does that take time?
No, it doesn't take time as it's braille. If it wasn't handwriting, I would not understand it.
Oh, okay. So it's more about the feeling. Okay. So I remember the program is about Chrissy getting insight into who Chrissy is as a child. Chrissy, do you love cooking? Do you cook? I know you're very independent. Do you cook? Okay, she's looking at you. She's wondering. Do you have a cook at home? You want to try something?
I just make tea.
Okay, so about food that's too difficult for you for now?
And seasoning meat
Oh, wow.
Okay.
and putting butter in the bread
Okay, you can do all these things.
Wow.
and making scrambled eggs.
So you can prepare your own breakfast.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Yes, this is really amazing.
So I can imagine someone who's visually impaired and they actually can do those things. If we were to wear blindfolds or to try that, how many of us would succeed? Yeah.
They do that, they're bumping into the pole.
Oh boy. Yes.
Once I
Yes.
had a friend, she told me to take her around the field. I make her close her eyes, and she had to run and catch me. She bumped into the tree.
Yes. Yes.
I like that.
And again, listeners, you've just heard it. You've just
And
heard.
for sports, they have a special race for me. It's called a blindfold race.
Yeah,
They
I remember
will
that one.
blindfold the children,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll make a race. And I always place first.
Very good. And again, listeners, you've just. Oh, we have a phone call coming in.
Okay, yes.
Good evening. Youth on the Rise.
Hello, Chris.
Yes. Good evening.
Hi, that's Mrs. Asheville.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, you live on air.
Good evening. Hi, Christy.
Hello, miss.
Christy, how you doing? I hear you sounding good.
I'm feeling fine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Asheville. I just wanted to say, just to tell, because you... What's going on? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
hi.
Yes, you're on. You're on. Don't listen to your radio. You're on.
Yes, hello.
Yes, caller. You still live on air.
It's unfortunate that I'm unable to be there to answer so many of those questions that are being asked of the public and you.
Mhm.
Just a few points I wanted to make that are very critical this evening is that of the contribution of the St.Lucia Blind Welfare Association
Mm-hmm.
in ensuring that all students with vision impairment, no matter what level, whether they're totally blind or whatever level of vision impairment they have, they are all within the regular school. There is no
okay.
school for the blind in St. Lucia. All our students are within the regular school.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That is an important point. So it is with the support of the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association that teachers like me, called itinerant teachers, are able to go into the schools to support those students.
Okay.
And just another point about the braille, I was so excited when just listening to the braille. The machine is called a braille or braille machine, and braille is actually raised dots. So it's not that the dots form the letters, it's just the way that the dots come together, the configuration actually determines, for example, just one dot would be an A. You have two dots, one under the other, then it would be D. So it doesn't shape the print form of the letter. But it's just that she has learned what the configuration is for what letter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
May I ask you a question, miss?
Understood?
Yeah.
May I ask you a question? She's still?
Hello?
May I ask you a question?
Yes, it's just... Hello?
Yes. Do you think that enough is being done in St. Lucia to assist the visually impaired?
I'm so sorry. Can you say that again?
Do you think that enough is being done in St. Lucia to assist the visually impaired, especially the children?
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm not getting that clearly at all.
All right. Do you think enough is being done to assist the visually impaired, especially the children?
To assist the visually impaired is it within the school system?
Yes, within the schooling system.
Well, for the students, when we think about student potential, of course, the ideal would be a one-on-one, which is almost virtually impossible. We can't, as a governmental solution, to give a student one teacher per student. That would be the ideal, and that would be what I would be considered maybe close to being enough. But I think that with the efforts that are being made with having itinerant teachers within the schools to go in to check on the students and to ensure that they can access what is being taught to them, I think that is good enough, as opposed to putting them in a special school where they would be labeled and they would just with everybody else who's blind and visually impaired like themselves.
Oh, wow.
So you are definitely for inclusion, not exclusion.
You're definitely for inclusion of these students in the normal schools and not exclusion? Okay, it looks like call is not hearing me. Okay. And again, you've heard from a caller, and I think that it was actually her teacher.
Yes,
Mrs. Dashfield, yes. And Mr. Laz, what are your thoughts? Should the visually impaired students be included among the normal ones?
I personally believe that. I believe in inclusion. I believe already these children are going through so much, and there's this stigma attached to whenever you put children in a separate building, there's all this stigma attached to it. Okay, it's because the child not understanding what differently able is about.
Yeah.
It's because the child has a problem that the child is over there. Being visually impaired is really not a disease. It just means that there are certain things the child will not be able to do like us. The child needs accommodation to get better. And if we give the child a proper accommodation, then the child can do amazing things. Like Christy is showing us, she can move mountains. So personally, I believe that we should include them. They're already going through enough. Let them socialize with the children. Let them do what children do. Don't isolate them. That is my position on it.
Yeah. I would very much agree with you, actually.
What about you, Mrs. Aspen? What do you
Yes,
think?
I definitely agree with the inclusion part. But however, I think too, training should be given to teachers or persons who interact with persons like that, because sometimes without the knowledge you do not know how to go about helping them and bringing them up to their potential. So I think a little bit training should be given.
Very, very well said. Yes. Now, the hour is almost up. The hour is up, actually. We're into overtime. Christy, we've spoken about a lot today, a lot about you. Do you have any last words for the listening public? Anything that you'd like them to know? Come on.
Oh. Or if not, you can say hello to some of your friends. Is there any friend you'd like to say hello to? Big up some friends.
My sisters and brothers.
Mm-hmm.
My sisters and brothers. The garage man.
Okay.
My uncle, Uncle Junior.
Uh-huh.
And the person who takes me to school, Uncle Petrus.
Uh-huh.
And my best friends at my school. And my teachers and my parents and my grandmother, Miss Mariana John Baptist.
Now you said best friends. Let's say the best friends. The best friends want to tell you that tomorrow at the school I heard my name. So mention the best friends.
My best friends are Bunella, General Philip, Delany, Viola, Kavana,
And many more.
Kaylee,
Okay.
and a lot more.
And what class are you in?
I am in grade 4.
Okay, so let's shout out to all the grade 4 students.
I like to big up to the grade 4 students and my teacher, Miss Syria Laffey.
Very good. And what about your school, my girl? What about your school?
And the Reunion Primary School.
That is it, my good. Big up your people. Your teacher, that is it.
Okay.
And the Pi Secondary School.
Okay.
I love that.
All right, having a lot of fun here this evening. Christy Joseph, would like to thank you for coming in and appearing on this show again.
Welcome.
I would like to thank a teacher, Miss Artil, not a class teacher but PE teacher, and also for her parents, her mother, for accompanying her. You have a remarkable daughter, and she needs to be nurtured. She needs to be taken care of so that she will develop into a very capable, competent, and confident young lady. Okay? Now, listeners, this is the end of our show. Now, you've just listened to another episode of Youth on the Rise. And before we wrap up, we have one announcement. From the Choiseul Credit Union, actually. Choiseul Credit Union is collaborating with the government of St. Lucia to host a public education and outreach to discuss issues relating to climate change and disaster risk reduction. This public education and outreach will be held on Saturday, 6th. Depending on where you are in the world, good morning. The rest of us, good evening. Stay tuned for next week's show, and goodbye.